25 years have passed. Why are you only showing up now? I searched everywhere for you. Back in the freezing winter of our senior year, when your mother fell ill and you were drowning in heavy debt, barely able to scrape by and feed yourself, so you vanished in a thin air without a single word of goodbye, right? Out of the whole class, she was the only one who had no clue who I was. Do you know where the cafeteria is? Lin Running shook her head. Let me show you the way. And that marked the very first time. Lin Running nodded gently at Jiang Juechuan, trailing closely right behind me every step. Her timid, cautious, and fragile demeanor suddenly reminded Jiang Juechuan of his childhood, when he used to rescue and raise a stray cat, eating meals all alone with not a shred of joy. And that was the initial smile, though not quite a genuine smile, yet from Lin Running. Hello, I am Jiang Juechuan. I spent an exhausting month practicing day and night just to sign those exact words. Thank you. Buying all that cost me a whole day's meal allowance. Totally worth it, as I officially became her personal interpreter, glued to her side from sunrise to sunset. 5 grueling days a week, while she slowly began teaching me unique sign language not found in any textbooks, entirely crafted by her own creative hands, understood exclusively by the two of us. A secret sign language Lin Running reserved only for Jiangju Chuan, meaning that Jiangju Chuan is the absolute most precious person to Lin Running, while everyone around foolishly assumed Juechuan was just wasting his precious time. The very day her delicate feet were injured, I hoisted her onto my back, carrying her up and down the stairs. During final exams, Lin Running stunned everyone by ranking 7th. And on that memorable day, she flashed her brightest, most radiant smile. At that exact, unforgettable moment, I was 17 years old, foolishly believing this was merely a temporary parting. When the college acceptance letter finally arrived in the mail, I was sweating profusely, hauling 11 bundles of bamboo shoots at a construction site, each heavy bag weighing a grueling 25 kilograms, scaling 200 grueling trips a day, earning a mere pittance per run, while my college admission notice lay crushed beneath my worn pillow. My mother's relentless illness dragged on for 3 agonizing years, until she finally drew her last breath and passed away. A staggering hospital debt of $161 million. At 21 years old, I didn't even have a single coin in my pocket. Every night at 10 p.m., I would study finance relentlessly, pushing through until 2 a.m. in the morning. By day, hauling heavy cargo crates for 12 grueling hours in a warehouse. By night, staring at a computer screen, crunching endless numbers. Working until my heavy eyes refused to stay open. I desperately wanted to prove I was still alive, still drawing breath in this cruel world. At 42 years old, trapped in this unforgiving city, I felt like a discarded chess piece thrown away by everyone. Deeply behind on 3 months of rent. Juechuan Investment Corporation. That name was burned into my gaze as I stared at it for ages. Those 3 simple words. For 25 long years, I had never dared to utter to a single soul. All right, tomorrow morning. Even just having a high school diploma is fine, steaming for half an hour straight. Finally, those stubborn wrinkles on my suit were smoothed out, wearing a suit worth $875,000 standing before a 42-story skyscraper. Heading in for an interview as a quantitative analyst. Your highest educational background on file is merely high school. So why on earth did you let me come all the way here? Please take a seat. Mr. Jiang, please go on. I am Jiang Juechuan. This crucial step is one I have waited 17 years to take. How can you possibly prove this was entirely crafted by you? You are welcome to inspect and verify it right here on the spot. The hedging module has a flaw. The directional vector is inverted. How did you know the technology sector is currently being dangerously overallocated? This is a fully upgraded hedging framework. Feel free to test it out for yourselves. Our team debated and designed this exact system framework for 4 months straight. I just researched and figured it out on my own. Why did you study this field? Because I had to survive. President Lin, all of these complex systems were entirely self-taught. This interview concludes right here. Mr. Jiang, please stay behind for a moment. Everyone else may step outside. Jiang Juechuan. It has been 25 long years. Why are you only showing up before me now? I searched desperately everywhere for you. Back in the freezing winter of our senior year, right after the surgery. Right after undergoing the surgery. Once I finally recovered my hearing, the very first thing I did was rush back to the county town to find you. Why have you kept holding on to it all this time? Why didn't you come look for me back then when my mother fell ill, needing a massive amount of money while I was drowning in suffocating debt, when I couldn't even manage to take care of my own life? So you just chose to stay silent and vanish without a trace, right? Throughout these past 25 long years, I kept wondering, what if you had actually come to find me on that day? We could have stayed together through thick and thin. No matter how brutal the hardship, we could have carried it side by side. Yet you refused to do that. Jiang Juechuan, you are so utterly cruel. I'm sorry. Is it truly a fact that you came to this interview solely because of this job opportunity, right? Inside my bank account, there's only a meager $1,368,500 left. My rent has already been delayed for 5 days straight. If I fail to pay by tomorrow, the landlord will change the door locks immediately. I desperately need this job. Jiang Juechuan, you haven't changed even a tiny bit. Rather starve than ever lower yourself to beg for pity. Your professional capability is exceptionally formidable. To be completely honest, it far exceeds my highest expectations. You're fully qualified to take on the role of quantitative analysis specialist, and you can even directly lead and mentor the entire team. Jiang Juechuan, you are officially hired, appointed as our senior quantitative strategy expert, with an annual salary of $5.25 billion. Performance bonuses calculated separately. Report to work starting tomorrow morning. This is your legitimate job, earned entirely through your own sweat and capability. Don't thank me. Be here sharp at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Late arrivals will have their pay docked. Where are you currently living? Expert Jiang has arrived. Your workstation is right over here inside this private cubicle partition. Alpha decay rate is 1. The entire cumulative factor repository accumulated over 12 years has been integrated here. The regression test curve and the live real-world data are completely divergent. Expert, aren't you going down for lunch? After 12:30 p.m., the cafeteria barely has any decent dishes left. My name is Fong Xiaodang, an analyst working in the investment research department. If you ever need anything, just give me a call whenever you want. Expert Jiang, I have a burning question to ask. Your proposed strategy sounds theoretically quite sound. However, the volatility adaptation model requires at least 5 years of high-frequency data for proper regression testing, whereas our current corporate database only covers a span of 3 years, while the broader market data spans 8 years. I have worked on this single-handedly for 12 years straight. Working entirely alone is undeniably slow, but 12 years is more than enough. What is the exact sample size of your factor repository? 120,000 discrete data points. 4 hours every single day. These 3 critical time frames cover the past 5 years, encompassing the 3 most catastrophic market volatility crashes. Take a close look and see if the regression testing results match up flawlessly with what I provided. Director Zhou seems to harbor quite a bit of hostility toward you. And it's not just a superficial attitude, either. Just now, after the meeting adjourned, I overheard him whispering to Su Mingyuan that a nobody with a shady background like you, if your testing results fall short of expectations, he will personally petition President Lin to fire you on the spot. Su Mingyuan is currently scrutinizing your data right now. I am well aware. At 3 a.m. in the morning, the final data batch finished processing. 12 years of sweat and blood are all concentrated right here. So you're the newly arrived senior expert who only hold a high school diploma, right? Let me formally introduce myself. I am Tan Yuansheng, the executive vice president of the corporation, overseeing the strategic investment division. Someone with merely a high school education like you, having arrived just 3 short days ago without a single notable achievement, already sitting on equal footing with seasoned veterans, right? Don't you think things are moving just a bit too fast for comfort? Someone who can actually make Lin Runing bend the rules. This is the absolute first time I have ever witnessed it. That woman values corporate protocol more dearly than her own life. the only things capable of making her shatter her own rules. First is immense, astronomical profit. Second is some entirely different personal reason. Welcome aboard to the team, Expert Jiang. The relationship between VP Tan and President Lin is quite intricate. She was appointed to her prestigious position 3 years ago, backed secretly by the corporation's second-largest major shareholder. President Lin holds a 43% controlling stake, while the second-largest shareholder holds 28%, and VP Tan happens to be the biological granddaughter of that powerful shareholder. Su Mingyuan walked past his workstation for the third time, his footsteps slowing down by half a beat. The verification results match up perfectly. The margin of error is within 2 out of 1,000. Apologies for my poor attitude during our previous meeting. It is only natural for you to harbor suspicions. Would you be willing to share the factor repository with the team? Hello, Jiang Juechuan, are you busy right now? Not busy at all. Step outside for a moment. I am currently downstairs outside your building. Do you actually live in a place like this? Because the rent is cheap. Help him pick out 3 formal suits and 1 casual outfit. Lin Running. I am fully capable of buying my own clothes. We are just utilizing your meager 1,368,500 balance as an official company allowance. Change that other suit into a deep navy blue. Pick a solid color tie for it. That works too. Pack everything up. This coming Monday, we have a scheduled meeting with Rueha Investment Fund. Their chief strategy officer, Zheng Yunlong, is notoriously arrogant. Your quantitative model is going to be my absolute winning trump card. Let me handle the hosting and reception. You are still precisely the same as you were back in the old days. Let's just wait until that moment comes and deal with it then. I already told you the company is treating you. You won't win an argument against me. You treasured that exact book for 25 long years. I used to think about it. Yet every time the thought crossed my mind, I would just brush it off, saying forget it why. Take that other pathway over there. This gentleman is our newly appointed senior quantitative analysis expert, Jiang Juechuan. What is your core objective? An annual return exceeding 20. Maximum capital drawdown strictly controlled within 8. A multi-strategy portfolio is an absolute mandatory requirement. Stratified asset investment strategy, risk budget allocation, and optimal portfolio balancing. Where on earth did you manage to dig him up for this interview? Which elite institution did he come from? What are his historical achievements? He doesn't belong to any elite institution at all. Annual return of 31 with a drawdown restricted to 4.67. Next week, bring Team 5 over to discuss the intricate details. You truly managed to unearth a priceless treasure. Today's impressive performance makes me look at you in a completely different light. How about I treat you to a cup of coffee sometime soon? With an annual return of 31, why are you still living in a rundown slum? Every penny I earned went straight toward paying off debts. I simply refuse to take unnecessary risks. That promise inscribed in the sign language book you have finally fulfilled. It's just that I spent all those years waiting in the completely wrong direction. Chu Qinghuai doesn't simply want me to just pack my bags and get lost from this company. He is actively fabricating forged evidence. Director Chu proposes extending the observation period by another month. Tan Yuansheng is also sticking her hands into this dirty mess. She and VP Tan previously had 0 interactions whatsoever. That was all in the past. What about right now then? At 10 p.m. last Wednesday night, Director Chu quietly returned to the office building and accessed my very own workstation desk. The verification data was originally run by me. If any fatal flaws emerge, I will be the absolute first to take the fall. The quantitative model has developed an abnormal error discrepancy, proposing to extend the observation period by another whole month. I officially approve of this. Being extra cautious can never be wrong. Jiang Juechuan, do you have anything else to say in your defense? There are 7 data fields that completely mismatch the original baseline. The system has automatically logged every single action. Let's cross-reference line by line right here. 7 crucial parameters had their values maliciously dialed down by 3. The system operates entirely on automated protocols. At 10 p.m. last Wednesday night, you sneaked back into the corporate office. You deliberately used Su Mingyuan's workstation terminal. President Lin, Jiang Juechuan, your quantitative model is officially authorized to be deployed into live trading starting from today. The position of Director of the Investment Research Department held by Chu Qinghuai is temporarily suspended. Get out of my sight now. This is nothing more than a misunderstanding. The IT department can easily verify everything within half an hour. Are you absolutely certain you still want to offer an explanation? But shouldn't the standard observation period still be? Leave this matter entirely for me to handle. Understood. President Lin's final decision is absolute. Congratulations on your great victory, Expert Jiang. When did you figure out his scheme? Back on Monday night? Why didn't you speak up earlier? I wanted to wait for him to walk right into his own trap. Tan Yuancheng actually spoke up to shield him during the meeting. There are people inside this corporation just waiting for me to make a fatal mistake. Aren't you even a little afraid he might get you fired beforehand? He has no way of firing me, because the real data is safely locked in my hands. You have changed so much. You happen to be my most crucial strategic chess piece right now. I am staying because I know I can crush this job. Very well, then make sure you excel at it. He has already thoroughly investigated my entire life background. Even before arriving here, he already knew exactly who I was. Working overtime, let's go, I'll treat you to dinner. You won your battle against Chu Qinghuai. However, there is someone powerful backing him up behind the scenes. That is true, but it certainly wasn't me. A massive corporation valued at 105 trillion, where every critical decision goes through just one single person. Do you honestly find that kind of setup normal? Extending the observation period doesn't do any harm to the company whatsoever. Yet falsifying financial data is a line I will never cross. This is agenda. Item number 6 on the upcoming Board of Directors meeting schedule. Next month, we will establish an additional Chief Investment Officer position. Who do you want to take over this role? What are you expecting me to do? If you manage to sit in that high chair, her investment research department will no longer remain under her absolute control. Do you intend to completely neutralize Lin Runing's authority? That is merely maintaining corporate balance. The company requires a system of mutual checks and balances. The upcoming board meeting scheduled for this coming Monday. Did she mention anything about it to you at all? Take a good look. Even regarding this major matter, she chose to keep it secret from you. If I refuse to accept this role, then who is her designated backup plan? None other than yourself. You are far more difficult to manipulate than I originally anticipated. Is she truly worth making such a loyal choice for? Just wait until the day your utility runs dry and see what happens. Do we need to report this suspicious meeting to President Lin? There's no need for that. Whether her words made logical sense or not is entirely irrelevant. The real question is why she chose to reveal all this to me. This is the confidential document that Tan Yuancheng formally submitted to the board of directors yesterday. I am well aware she came to find me last night. How did you respond to her proposal? I flatly refused. That is merely her political chess move. It is certainly not the path I choose to walk. Did she happen to say anything else to you, claiming that your solitary control over the entire company is unhealthy, and claiming I'm nothing more than a disposable tool to you? When I let you interview, nobody had any clue who you were. Our HR system filtered and selected your resume, solely thanks to those brilliant market analysis reports you submitted. I have secretly tracked Jiang Yin for 3 solid years. The predictive accuracy of your analysis ranks in the top 3 nationwide. I searched everywhere for you for 25 long years, believing you were gone from this world forever. I let you come here solely because you possess genuine capability. It does have a connection to our past feelings, but certainly not in the way you might be thinking. I simply feel overwhelmingly fortunate. Fortunate that you are still alive and have grown into the exact person I spent my life searching for. You are the very person I waited for through 25 long years. All right, our personal conversation ends here. Regarding Tan Yuancheng's proposed initiative, do you have any suggestions at all? Can the joint fund contract be signed much earlier than planned? Are you absolutely certain Director Yunlong will sign the deal this week? Hand over his direct phone number to me right now. I wish to make a formal presentation during the Board of Directors meeting to deliver a predictive performance report. Your boss answers directly to me. Your hedging framework actually possesses incredible potential. Can we pull the evaluation schedule forward to this coming Friday? How are the live trading results looking so far? $175 billion has been successfully closed, doubling our performance metrics. During the upcoming board meeting this Monday, not a single person will dare lay a finger on him right after securing such a monumental contract. 30 distinct document files, each meticulously marked and organized. Writing reports until 2 a.m. and getting a mere 4 hours of sleep. The official report is finally complete. Let the hard live data speak for itself and decide the outcome. President Lin, it's a pleasure doing business with you. Expert Jiang, let's make sure to communicate much more often moving forward. Is everything fully prepared on your end? Tan Yuansheng has a backup plan ready. I am well aware of it. The moment Miad Shirong took off his glasses, he cast a fleeting glance straight at Lin Running. He is definitely plotting something behind the scenes. Our corporate scale has expanded threefold. Our management structure desperately needs an upgrade. Establishing the position of Chief Investment Officer. The corporate governance structure requires immediate restructuring, strictly for the best interests of the company. Does anyone else have any other objections to raise? I certainly do. This coming Saturday, Juechuan and Rueha will officially sign the joint fund agreement. The initial tranche amounts to $105 trillion. Following 2 weeks of live trading operations, the surplus yield over the same period reached a staggering 4.3, amounting to $175 billion in total. This astronomical figure casts a heavy pressure over the entire boardroom, forcing everyone present to weigh their options very carefully. Such a department operating at peak high efficiency, and having just signed such a critical, monumental contract, is it truly appropriate to abruptly alter our corporate structure right now? Not a single person dare to speak up. All in favor of this proposed initiative, please raise your hands. The proposal has officially failed to pass. Let us move on to the next agenda item. He spent 2 solid months meticulously preparing for this, and you wrecked everything completely in just 3 short days. Those very $175 billion are precisely what ruined his master plan. That $175 billion was an achievement won entirely through your own hands. Ever since my very first day stepping foot into this company, I have been fully prepared. Someone online just published an exposé post detailing your entire background. Our IT department successfully tracked the digital footprint. The IP address originated externally utilizing a proxy intermediary server. Yet the core inside information could only have leaked from deep within our own company. The number of people who personally search my personnel file is exactly 1. Tan Yuansheng, a public presentation. Expose and lay out your entire quantitative strategy in complete detail. For everyone in the industry to inspect, you must be insane. A public presentation means you will completely lose the ability to remain hidden in the shadows ever again. Your past educational credentials and every single detail of your life will be dug up and stripped bare. I lived in a rundown slum for 7 years, hauling heavy sacks of cement and running a roadside food stall just to stay alive. What else in this world could possibly have the power to hurt or break me now? Very well, then let me handle the arrangements. Are you feeling nervous at all? Not nervous in the slightest. Your palms are completely drenched in nervous sweat. Hello everyone, I am Jiang Juechuan, a high school graduate holding no prestigious university degree. Once a humble cement porter and a street vendor running a food stall. Before the age of 42, not a single soul on earth knew who I was. The moment the automated circuit breaker mechanism is triggered, the model will instantly switch over to a defensive composite factor portfolio, keeping the maximum capital drawdown strictly controlled below 4. That concludes the entirety of today's presentation. Does anyone present have any questions or doubts? Feel free to ask your questions directly right here and now. Hello, President Jiang. When is your next scheduled public presentation going to take place? We will definitely make sure to be there in attendance. If it is convenient for you next week, would you mind dropping by our company headquarters for a brief strategic discussion? We hold exceptionally high expectations for your groundbreaking project. Just 3 weeks ago, he was still stuck living in a squalid, poor neighborhood, worrying sick about overdue rent. While right now he holds a thick stack of business cards in his hands, as people all across the entire industry scramble eagerly just to hand him their business cards. After today, you are no longer hiding in the shadows as Jiang Yin. You are Jiang Juechuan. Don't be afraid. Have you seen the news? How does it feel? You have completely shaken the entire financial world to its core. Tan Yuancheng officially submitted her letter of resignation today. After 25 long years, we finally stand together at the very same peak. Try to act a bit more relaxed and natural. Just a month ago, you were wearing that dusty, battered old suit. Now you actually look like a proper gentleman. Was I not human looking back then? Previously, you looked much more like a stubborn stone. Ever since my hearing fully recovered, the very first sound I desperately yearned to hear was your name. I searched everywhere for you for 25 long years. Every single year, returning to the old county town, holding on to the faint hope that perhaps I would finally find you. You still owe me an answer to that question you never replied back then. You are the most important person in my entire life. Money is nothing more than fleeting numbers on a screen, yet the sense of security you bring is truly real. Expert Jiang, the whole company, is celebrating downstairs right now. Tan Yuancheng hasn't given up and vanished just yet. She has already registered a brand new firm named Wanxin Capital. Zheng Yunlong just called on the phone, stating they will increase their investment up to $175 billion while valuing Juechuan Corporation soaring from $105 trillion to $157.5 trillion. Hidden inside the shareholder registry of Wanxin Capital is the name of Mu Shirong's lawful wife. He is actively poaching key members right out of our investment research department. Already 2 people have accepted secret employment offers. Just help me keep a close eye on them without alarming anyone. Everything that Su Mingyuan just whispered to me must be reported straight to Lin Runing without delay. Come in. What do you plan to do about this threat? Exactly as I predicted all along. He has no intention of truly disappearing into thin air. He is simply shifting his battle tactics to an external front. Firstly, we need a stabilized Team 5. And secondly, we will cut off every single lifeline of his new company. He is quietly building an external rival firm right outside, competing directly head-on against Juechuan Corporation, using Mu Shirong's dirty capital to poach my team 5 members, stealing my loyal clients, and plagiarizing my quantitative strategies, waiting until Juechuan's performance metrics start to dip. So Mu Shirong will have a legitimate excuse to make things difficult. During the upcoming board of directors meeting, their ultimate objective remains trying to drag me down from my throne. He might be able to copy our system framework, yet he can never duplicate your brilliant mind. The quantitative model will continue upgrading to leave him eating our dust. Leave this battle to me. Help me secure a total victory. You have changed so much over the years. Back at age 17, your smile used to reveal 2 cute canine teeth, while nowadays when you speak of showing zero mercy, you are as unyielding and cold as a block of solid iron. I was simply forced to become this way. The first phase of system upgrading required 3 grueling weeks, expanding our factor count from 80 all the way to 120. The second upgrade phase took 2 weeks to complete, compressing the maximum capital drawdown tightly below 4. Throughout the very first month, Wanxin Fund successfully poached away 2 junior investment analysts from our investment research department with double salaries and a signing bonus so lavishly generous that when the news spread across the office floors, the tense atmosphere inside the investment research department shifted dramatically. The terms offered by Wanxin Fund sound entirely too good to pass up, yet attractive conditions do not automatically guarantee ultimate victory. If you want to crush the competition, there is only one true metric: performance. Yet all those idle gossip whispers could never penetrate this private office. The only thing allowed to pass through here is hard live trading data. Our second quarter profit yield reached a staggering 11.3, ranking proudly at the absolute top of the entire market. Whereas over at Wanxin Fund, they only managed a meager 2.1, falling far below the average industry standard. I happen to hold something in my hands directly linked to Lin Runing. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. sharp, at the Financial Center coffee shop. Come or don't come as you please. You have finally arrived. Speak your mind, grab a drink to relax first. Open it up and take a look for yourself. Skip the drinks and let's get straight down to business. A logbook detailing intentional market manipulation trades. After reading this, what exactly do you intend to do? Every single story he fed you was an absolute lie. I've looked over the files, and is that really all you brought? Aren't you even a little bit furious? She has been deceiving and manipulating you through all these 25 years. You are showing me these forged documents solely to make me turn my back on her. If I were to leak these files straight to the mainstream media, her pristine public image would completely collapse overnight. Are you trying to threaten me right now? It is not a threat. It is merely a gentle reminder, giving you 3 days to think it over carefully. The inpatient medical record from the provincial number 3 People's Hospital. Lynn Running, at 15 years of age, diagnosed with complete and permanent hearing loss, severe auditory trauma requiring cochlear implant surgery. The date of hospital admission dating back 26 years ago, 2.5 years of high school. She never answered phone calls. Whenever teachers called out her name, she was always the very last person to lift her head up, never once participating in physical education classes. You have finally returned. Take a look at this. You already know about it, don't you? Do you have any questions? Why didn't you ever tell me the truth back in those days? Because you were the one and only person who treated me like a completely normal human being. What if you had actually known the truth back then, when you were only 17 years old yourself? I simply didn't dare to take that gamble. Even if I had told you, you still would have carried me up the stairs anyway. You're the kind of person who, once you learned the truth, would have gone out of your way to treat me 100 times better. Yet I never wanted to be treated out of pity like that. No matter what kind of hardships I had to endure, you remain the most precious person in my entire life. Do you still remember how to perform this sign language gesture, right? Even if I live a lifetime, I could never forget it. 3 days later, the explosive expose article was leaked online. The phones inside the public relations department rang off the hook. Corporate partners and clients were calling in continuously to inquire. Their attitude toward us felt deeply strange and unsettling. Wu Daxiong also personally placed a phone call over. The office phones within public relations kept ringing relentlessly. How do you plan to handle this crisis? That was never my fault to begin with. I don't see a single thing shameful about my past. Is there anything you need me to do? Let's hold a grand press conference and reveal the complete, unvarnished truth to the world. You just need to sit quietly down below in the audience seats so that I can look down and see you there. The very first row on the far leftmost side was carefully arranged by Lynn Running herself. She said that if I sat right there, you would be able to see me clearly. My father only gave me $2,411,500 for monthly living expenses, claiming it was to temper my willpower and build character. He ended up fainting from severe malnutrition and got scolded by his father, while the father turned around and bought a brand new car, a BMW X3 for his cousin who only scored 320 points on the exams. Wang Hung worked hard and successfully passed the exams to enter an investment bank. Right at the top, after his father passed away, he took over the company helm, embarking on a brand new chapter of his life. Surely everyone here has already read the expose articles circulating online. Well, every single detail written inside them is absolute truth. At 55 years of age, I have endured and survived quite a few storms. Following a full year of intensive medical treatment, my condition turned for the better. The dark past, belonging to any individual, should never define their present reality. Our valuation hit $157.5 billion, with total assets soaring to $980 billion. Our yield rate proudly ranks at the absolute pinnacle of the entire market. If anyone dares to argue that I do not deserve to stand here, then just feast your eyes upon my undeniable performance report. As for the illegal invasion of personal privacy, we will pursue legal action to the fullest extent of the law, and we will show absolutely zero mercy whatsoever. President Lin, can you please answer just one question? Skyrocketing straight to the top of trending searches. The public sentiment in the comment section has completely flipped. Wu Daxiong has already called in desperately to apologize. 3 major clients of Wanqing Investment Fund have officially severed ties. Wanqing Investment Fund has completely dissolved and gone under. This is your official senior partner appointment letter granting 3 equity. Thank you so much. And I'm not thanking you for giving me a job. Rather, I am thanking you for giving me the precious opportunity to live and breathe all over again. Let's toast to the 25 lost years we endured. I came over to visit your place today, bringing along homemade rice balls and fresh strawberries. We are late by a staggering 25 full years. How did you know strawberry was my absolute favorite flavor? Back in senior year, you constantly traded snacks with your desk neighbor. And every single time you always picked the strawberry flavor. During my medical checkup last year, my hearing had degraded just a tiny bit more. The cochlear implant has been running for 25 years straight now. It is probably time to undergo another surgery. I will be your personal interpreter right by your side. Will you promise to always stay by my side no matter what? While I can still hear your voice, please say it to me one more time. I will always remain right here and never go anywhere ever again. 5 years later. The total assets under management by Jiue Chuan investment have shattered past the monumental mark of 3.5 trillion. I transitioned from a senior partner into co-chairman of the board. Her complex surgical procedure to restore her hearing was successfully performed in the 3rd year. Lin Running. Can you hear me now? Let the very first sound be my voice, okay? Reporters asked her what the luckiest thing in her life was. She smiled and replied that at 57 years of age, a devoted man gently tapped twice upon her office desk.